Hey guys, I'm finally back for this FaceTime. It's been quite a weekend and introduction to a week. Um, but I'm glad it went the way that it went. I just want to say, hey everybody, thank you guys for tuning back in with me, Constance Monet, here in the Chaos Corner. My voice is doing a thing, and I was telling you guys last week it was trying to get me. And so today, I don't have coffee or tea, or I do have a form of a tea, but this is fire water, so it can open me up. So yeah, give me 1 minute. But thank you guys for coming. I'm so happy to be FaceTiming with y'all again. I'm trying to get the energy, but my body is down. You know, nature has its way of attacking. Okay, I'll just say that. But today, I want to talk to you guys just a little bit to the parents across the board. As a mom, and I haven't been doing it forever, but at the same time, a good long time, I've realized, this is not just for moms, this is for moms and dads, this is for just dads, this is for whatever your household looks like. I have learned that it is really hard to maintain some relationships when your foundation is another relationship. Okay? And what I mean by that is like, you have to make time, you have to make people kind of step to the side for every relationship that you have in this life. Excuse me. For every relationship that you have. No one can stand outside of that unless you want to end up alone. I know I hear a lot of people like, oh, this thing is higher than this thing, and this thing is higher than this thing. If you place yourself in a hierarchy, when it comes to your relationships, as soon as that thing that's at the top with you dies, leaves, just decides, hey, I don't want you no more, okay? Hey, this is over. Hey, I'm going back to Jesus. Whenever that happens, you're alone. I think more people should practice, and I say this because this is what I practice, having relationships on the line. Just on the line. If your relationship with God is at the very top, keep that one, okay? But we have to remember that we're having a one-sided relationship with an external being in that space that doesn't so much interfere with the rest. Okay, and if it does, like those people who just get rid of everyone and go to church only, but then as soon as something happens at the church, they have nowhere to go, nobody, and it's like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore because God forsaken me. No, baby, church is not God. God is not church. You had a relationship with an external being, and that relationship continues if you're at the church or not. But that church relationship could sabotage the rest of your life because you're not micromanaging and handling your other relationships appropriately. And that goes for anything. My biggest example of that is I'm a mom first. I've had a bunch of titles prior to this. I've been a big sister all my life. I've been someone's child all my life. But once everyone went off to do their own things, I was no longer important in those roles. And I had to self-define every single time. My siblings became adults. I had to say, oh my God, I don't get to be big sister the way I have been trained and only knew to be. I have to evolve as a big sister. And that meant getting out their business. That meant getting out of the way and just letting them do it. Hardest thing I ever experienced in my life, because I was taught those are your responsibilities. You make sure nothing happens. You protect, you take care of, and you watch. So when my siblings got older, I realized, oh my God, I need friends. I need these other relationships that I had never taken time to manifest or to uh, really put any effort into. Um, Along my life, I've had a bunch of associates, people I associated with, um, because it's what you do in the space that you're in. Um, but I had not made real friends at the point of me graduating high school, my brother and sister graduating high school, and us becoming adults. So when I had my kids, some 15 plus years, or like 12, 13 years later, um, decided for me, I would not do that again. I would not set up my relationship with my children, though me being a mom is my favorite title. It is the one I hold at the top. Hey, if my kids can't go, I don't even want to go, okay? Because I've done all the rest of it. But I made an active decision when my son was born, um, that I would not base my life off of my relationship with my kids. And I was having a discussion with my bestie yesterday, one of them, and I explained this this idea of how I move through them, because a lot of times people are looking at you from the outside in, and you looking at you from the inside out. And I think it's normal. I don't base my world around my kids. Now, I do base life and what I need to do and perspective around them. But me, I still need to maintain my friendships. I still need to maintain my relationship with my brother and my sister. That's not separate. And eventually, I might start dating again. But that's been a shit show. So, But eventually, even that relationship, that will be quantitative. It will be equal. I will have to balance all of these relationships. My friends are not going anywhere because I'm in a dating relationship. My children are not going anywhere because I'm in a dating relationship. My dating relationship will still be equal to these other relationships. I have to manage this. I have to manage those, and I have to manage this. Um, is it easy? No, because that's what prompted the conversation. My friend was like, hey, go ahead, do whatever you need to do, take care of the kids. And I was like, well, no, they're going to have to take a moment and wait, because right now you need me. You need my attention, and I need to give you that, because I only get these phone calls, FaceTimes. I only get a few short minutes to be there for the other adults in my life, because we have these big, expansive lives, and you don't have a lot of time to be there sometimes. But I'm with my kids because they are my mommy, top priority, top thing, the thing I love to do the most. 90% of the time, okay? 10% I'm probably hiding in the closet from them, trying to have privacy, okay? But the rest of it, I am homeschooling, I am reading, I am tutoring, I am feeding, I am talking to them and finding out how they feel and managing their feelings and watching a movie. So we are spending expansive amounts of time together. So for me, I don't feel like, hey guys, go have a seat for a minute, read your book, me and your mommy will discuss it later, is a bad thing, so that I could show up for the people who actually show up for me. My friends, my collective village shows up for me. We all have different views of life. I have two friends one whose child is about to be grown, one who has a grown child and a baby, one who doesn't have any kids, one who has a teenager and a toddler, and then there's me with two toddlers. So it looks different. Two of those people had a 2-parent household and raising. Me and one of my friends, we just been doing this by ourselves since the beginning, and it's just going to end that way. And with her adult child, it ended that way, and there is no real perception that it's going to change for the secondary one because of the human that the second child is with. So And it still looks different because in a way, my friend with the adult son and the baby son, she still kind of has a little, she has a person who comes, her oldest son comes and it's like, hey, I want my brother. Hey, I'm going to take him off your hands for a minute. Her life looks different from mine. My life looks different from my friend who has no kids and who just gets to travel the world and be her best self, Her world looks different from my best friend who's got the teenager and the toddler. He can say, hey, watch your sister real quick, but he's still hyper aware that no, I can't just go anywhere. I can't just do. He has a 2-parent household as well, so that looks different. That household looks different from my friend who has the grown son. Well, he'll be grown next year, because he doesn't need us anymore. He doesn't need the adults around asking questions and wondering, unless it's about something imperative. He wants to be with his friends. He's not at a young enough age where you need to just be there. He's at the space of exploration. He's about to become an adult. He wants to do things on his own. He has to understand and manage his own world. Our lives look completely different, which means our capacity for each other sometimes looks completely different. And in the conversation I had with one of my friends yesterday, I explained to her, I don't feel bad taking time to maintain my friendships. I don't feel bad taking time to maintain my sibling relationships. Those things are just as important to me as my relationship with my kids, because before I had them and I was crying and didn't know what to do and was trying everything and IVFing and going through all of those processes to get those kids, that village was there for me. Holding my hand, letting me cry in the closet, coming and pull me out and say, hey, all right, we done. Doesn't matter. We're going to keep trying. When you are tired, we'll stand by you. Whatever happens, we'll stand by you. And they stand by me with my kids. So why would I push those relationships to the side? If I had more family relationships, I would have more things to do. But I have very limited relationships, so I manage those relationships top tier. Just like I manage my children's relationship with their mom, top tier. I make sure it's important. Everyone can wait and sit down and take a break. I'm one person, and I have multiple people who love me, multiple people who have been here for me, and multiple people that I want to be there for. And I will never not be there because of another relationship. And when I start dating, same thing. My friends don't come second to this being I just started dating. That's crazy. Absolutely not. But also my friends understand that I'm trying to manage a relationship so that he doesn't come second to them. Now, in the context of time and relationship management, his opinion might come second to theirs. But time relationship management, no, because I'm having another relationship. I'm adding one more thing onto my plate. So I need to make sure that is nobody else's responsibility in my world. I need to make sure that my plate can manage one more relationship when I add it. So if that means me not dating until my kids are grown, I don't care. I had a good amount of time dating. It was wonderful. It was beautiful, fun, loving times. And then I had my turn up, be outside, because I was single for a good amount of years as well, prior to my kids. So maybe I have this perception because I didn't have kids until I was 30. So I had from 17 to 30 to hey, live his best life, figure it out, try everything, cry, go up, down, left, right, date, try to figure out who my friends were, try to have these random relationships, travel, work for the best people I've ever worked for, show up, have a wonderful time, stay out all night, go to class in the morning with a bun on your head and sunglasses on, okay? I was able to do all of that, which is the things I wanted to do prior to me becoming a mom and my sole responsibility being two humans that I need to manage through this life. So for me, I don't add another relationship onto my plate of relationships. And that plate is a village for me. There are other huts that sit around my center hut that keep me protected, safe, and alive. And I'm not willing to sacrifice one of those huts for anyone or anything. So I know that if I'm not there when my friend calls, maybe that one time, and I hear distress, they may not be in distress, but I hear distress. It is my moment to do that thing that I do in our relationship, in our village, that says, hey, I need to be here right now for you. I can do this with you right now. Let's do it. There is no option. There is nothing that's going to stand in the way. I'm going to teach them when we get off the phone. I am going to read that book as soon as we get done, friend. As soon as we get done, brother. As soon as we get done, baby. You understand? Hey, friends, I got to get off real quick because I got to go tend to my children. And no one has ever, not the real village, they have never had any issue or felt any lack of love from me in doing that. And I ask, I listen, not just a Sagittarius, but I am a question asker. My mom used to say, if you don't ask, nobody can tell you. If you don't ask, nobody can tell you. So I ask questions. I've always asked questions. I am a questioning human. I question everything. I don't care, sun, moon, galaxy, air, the dirt, the children, the birth, the why couldn't I, the how come, and who are you, and why are you here, and what do you, like, how's our friendship going? And these are some of the more important questions. I ask questions like, do you feel like I am serving our friendship still? I ask questions to my children like, do you feel like you need more time from mommy? Do you feel like you need more attention from mommy? Because those things are different. I spend time with my kids all the time, but sometimes I'm not paying attention to everything they're doing because we're spending time, but I'm making the popcorn for us to spend time. I'm putting the movie on. I'm sitting and I still have to edit a video in the middle of our movie. So yeah, we're spending time, but I'm not attentive completely in that moment because we still have other things that have to get done. So I asked them if they need my private mommy time. Just because I have multiple children doesn't mean, and I say multiple, I have two, but just because I have two, and even if I have more, just because I have multiple children, it doesn't mean that all of their time has to be lumped together. No, they're two different individuals. They need two different things from me at all times. At all times. Period. Because they are experiencing this world differently. So if I'm doing something that makes one of my children happy, it may not make my other child happy. And I'm not upset about that. I'll just say, give me a minute. Let me do this with this one. And I'll be over here to do what you want me to do. And we figure it out. Because they're learning me and I am learning them. My friends are always learning me and I'm always learning them because me and my friends, my village, we really talk about growing together. And if we feel like we're not, we try and figure out a way to continue walking down the path we need to go on, but parallel. Just like what you just heard. He wants attention right now. So, sometimes, even when I'm working, everybody still needs attention. Me recording, me being an esthetician, me, dealing with other relationships, I still manage the relationships and try to take time to give my time to those relationships because to me, working is not a relationship. You could have working relationships with people, but you see how you need the people? Working, it just gets you to maybe something that you love or your money. So that's for you. But these people around me are also for me. So I have to manage them. And sometimes I have to say, hey, I can't talk, y'all. I have to put my phone on airplane mode to get shit done. Okay? I have to lock my door and put my kids into a nap to get things done, because I'm also managing a relationship with myself. And when you're managing a relationship with yourself, most people who are selfless put themselves to the background and say, okay, let me be, let me do, let me da 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 da. And no, I'm just as special as all the other relationships. I'm also working very hard, guys. Let's be clear. I'm saying all this stuff, but I am working my ass off to watch and to put a mirror up to myself and to ask hard questions to people. And I've made a commitment to myself this year that I'm gonna be more selfish. But in that, I'm not going to sabotage the things that got me to a space where I was comfortable enough to feel like I could be more selfish. This is not an easy task. Life is not an easy task. It doesn't make anything not be hard just because it looks simple. The things that people do in this life that look so easy, so seamless, the hardest things go behind that. The hardest work, the most crying, okay? The most frustration, the hard conversations, especially in relationships. The hard conversations are the only thing that help your relationship grow. If you can't say I'm sorry, or for me, I don't say I'm sorry, I apologize. I say I'm sorry to strange people that I do something to, whatever, because I'm sorry is just, I didn't mean to do that to me. But I apologize to my friends, even when they don't think I owe them an apology, but because internally I feel like, no, that wasn't right. One day I was having a bad day, and my friend came in and she was like, hey girl, da 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 da. And I was like, bitch, I don't want to talk. That was inappropriate, okay? She understood that I was having a bad day and she was just trying to bypass it. But I gave her unwarranted energy. She didn't mess up my day. She didn't pee in my cereal. She did not steal my cookies, okay? It wasn't her. And that visceral reaction of her happy was my issue. But it still wasn't her. I wasn't feeling well. And after, she made me leave the house. She did. They don't care. They don't care if I'm upset. They just be like, all right, so you put your shoes on. I'll be in the living room, or I'll be waiting in the car. And we were sitting, and my chaos came down, okay? I was having a drink, and I said, hey, I apologize for that. You didn't deserve that reaction from me. And so on forth with the apology. I don't have an issue with apologizing. Sometimes I feel I'm wrong a lot more than other people feel that I'm wrong. And I will apologize. I will say, let's talk about it. The hard conversations. Just because it doesn't feel good. I got one friend, me and her, but we will match words 100%. We will just go word for word for word for word for word. But we have learned each other in a way that we will both say, hey, I think we're not going to agree to disagree, and that's okay. You know, this is my point. Okay, this is my point. Okay, we done with this. Let's talk about something else. And even though your energy is like up, and sometimes you really are triggered by the conversation, we move on because we didn't push anything under the rug. We didn't just act like nothing happened. We came to our conclusion. We put a period on that sentence, and we go to hell on. Talk about something else. Even it could still be in the same context of what we were having the debate about, and we will still be like, hey, because that's my sister. That's my friend. That is my village. Ain't nothing that big. Ain't nothing that big. The only way me and most of my village could not be friends is if I lose my temper about how somebody else that they love is dealing with them. That's the only way at this point. And most of us all agree on this. because I care about them so much and they care about me so much. The only real thing that could ever come between us is if we emotionally release on someone else that the other person loves, because that'll become an internal me and that person that's my friend's issue. And for me, they all know I don't care. If somebody's treating my friend bad, if somebody's treating my siblings bad, if somebody's treating my kids bad, bro, I'm up. I'm at the ceiling. I'm past the ceiling, but the ceiling is where I gotta stop because it's the ceiling. And if you do too much, I might go through it because I don't care. You will not talk bad about my friends in front of me. That's weird. You will not talk bad about the people that I love, period. Kids, friends, family, parents. I don't care what our relationship is. I don't care how. If I love this person, there is no continuum of negative conversation about them. And I don't care if it's my friend's mom. I will say something right there on the spot. Well, I think that's inappropriate. So I'm going to go ahead and leave. And I'm going to let my friend know what I heard. Because what I can say what I can say one time, I can repeat at any time. You understand me? And also, I have always believed in my heart, if a person runs back to me and says, girl, they was talking about you and I heard this, that, and another, my question is always, how long were you in that room and what did you say? What did you say about me? Because how did they feel so comfortable to have this long, nasty conversation attacking my character and who I am as a person with you in the room and you my friend, you my man, you my family member? How? How was that even possible? Also, secondarily, we not gonna continue this relationship. I don't care who you are. We done at that point because if they got out a full conversation, I don't believe you defended me. If you call me in the car cussing, okay, like, hey, hit me on the FaceTime. Hey, like, let me tell you what just happened. I believe you. But if we come for tea together a week later and you're like, oh my God, this is da-da-da-da-da, I don't trust you. It took you a whole week to figure out how to tell me the truth and we are a real village. Nah, you really don't know me in that context. But that's why I can't trust you, because you don't know that this week is adding compound pressure in my mind. That means you're not paying attention to me as your friend. And the attention I mean is you're not listening to me talk about how I maintain my relationships and what my expectations are in our friendship, in our family relationship, in our dating relationship. So you're ignoring me, and I'm good on that. See all that you see all that chaos that happens? One sentence, 1 week too long equates to this. If you ask me about a person that I don't have a relationship with, I feel like you've been talking about me with that person. Because that's the only reason you would, why would you bring it up to me? I don't walk around asking people about people who hurt them from the past. I don't say, ooh, girl, have you seen that man who used to beat you? Unless I was sitting with that man having a conversation. And if I sat down with a man who used to put his hands on my friend, there's a whole nother headline that's coming out about that, baby. You wouldn't even be talking to me because you'd be bailing me out. No, thank you. I'm not sitting down and having a conversation with someone who no longer maintains a relationship with the people that I love. That's crazy to me. Now, there are some situations in which I've had friend group relationships where all of my friends were not friends, but we started the group together. And even in that relationship, I got people who were evident and were there and who could speak for their damn selves on this. No, we could sit down in a room and have a conversation, but I'm not talking about her to you, and I'm not talking about her with you. So, like, no. Y'all got something to say? Here, sit down. Talk about it. I'll walk out. I'll make the drinks for y'all to talk about it. But I'm not going to be in the middle of two adults not knowing how to not be friends. Because it's simple. There's no reason if you're not friends and you don't want to be friends with somebody that you carry on conversation about these people. That's just weird to me. Just weird. I don't care who it is. I don't talk about my family members I don't deal with because I don't care. I don't care what they're doing in their lives. I don't care how they're doing. They don't care about me. Okay? And people will say all the time, oh, but that's your family and, you know, they love you. Okay, good for them. Shit, I love a rock that I found when I was 10. So, what does that mean? Okay, wonderful. Love is an action, and they can say the word, and wonderful that that's the only action they have. I don't care. I don't talk about people who are not my friends. They ain't my friends. I don't care if they're doing good, bad, or indifferent in their lives. I don't talk about it. I don't want to. I'm wasting my life capacity on these people who don't matter to me. Weird to me when people are doing that. I don't talk about my exes. And the men who donated sperm to me to have the best things I ever got in my life, I wish I could have gave them a check for it and called it a day. But at the same time, that's all I have to say about that. Because me and their relationships will never be anyone else's relationship with them. And I don't actually care about those men anymore. I loved them when I made the humans that I love the most. It's the best thing those men ever gave to me. Best thing they ever did for me in my life. Only good thing they'll ever do for me in my life. Period. That's it, that's all. Everything else is over. It happened. If you were there, you know. If you know. But if you weren't, they donated sperm. Look at my beautiful little humans. Aren't they great? Yay. They make me a happy I never thought I could ever have, okay? But the relationship happened like it did. I had way other relationships besides those two men. They weren't the worst of dating. But when you have a human with a person, they kind of become the worst of the group in context, right? But that is a conversation that ends there for me. I'm saying the same thing in circles. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know another way to put it. I don't bring them up. I don't talk about them. It ain't nothing to talk about. If I hear from them, they talk to them kids. If I don't, oh well. That's it. That's all. You see? So it doesn't matter how deep it goes because people will always be in these comments, in any other statements like, well, this you don't understand and I don't want to because that thing doesn't matter to me. So because it matters to you and you're not over it emotionally and you don't understand that you're not over it emotionally, is not my responsibility. That is yours. Everybody got a reason. Everybody got a story. But my story is mine and your story is yours. So then in the comments, jumping out your skin is not going to change the fact that you have an unhealthy emotional attachment to someone that you no longer have a relationship with, baby. Because them people don't pay my bills. So ain't one bill being paid in my house about none of these people that don't deal with me, which is why ain't no reason to speak on them. Not one meal, one plate of food went into my kids' mouth or minds. So I don't care. I can't care. It is irrational to me. But do I have empathy when I see people going through that? Of course, I do. I just don't care. So empathy comes with the sentence of, if you want somebody to care about it, you have to go to a therapist. You got to go find somebody else because I can't help you care about it. And I'm not going to sit and have the conversations with you either. Me and my group, my village, and my group of friends, we do not talk about each other's exes. It's damn near a clause in the contracts that we committed to each other verbally in our relationships. We don't talk about each other's exes. We don't talk about old friends of the others. We don't sit and just gossip and spit nasty energy and negativity into the world on people who are no longer in our lives. Now, in general, people watching, oh yeah, we'll say some fly ass statements. The shade be thick, okay? You see this weather shady. Yeah. But those people have to have done something to us in that moment to get that visceral reaction out of us. Outside of that, no, because we're so busy trying to grow forward. How can I hold on to things that no longer serve me if I'm going forward? You can't. Not in a healthy way. You can't. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming and being in this corner with me, working through some of my inside thoughts, the chaos that ensues in this brain, you know. And I also want to say the gem of the day, critical thinking. Use your critical thinking skills even when it comes to managing your relationships. If it hurts somebody else's feelings for you to manage other relationships, get rid of that person. Because that person has something going on the inside of them that is not your responsibility to take care of. You can never fix it for them. So let's use our critical thinking skills. Let's keep the chaos up because it creates change at most times. Pay attention to the world. Hurricanes make the most beautiful weather after. Hurricanes make you get rid of old buildings after. You understand? Floods make your grass grow better. Okay? Tornadoes remove ugly things that nobody wanted to keep looking at. Okay? Just remember that chaos is just as good as what people, the love and light of it all. Even in love and light, there's chaos. Okay? So, I'll see you guys soon. I can't wait until, we get to FaceTime again. I am building my energy, but I do want everybody to know that in doing this, we have to always remember that just because we put ourselves in front of these cameras, just because we put out there how we feel, it doesn't mean that every day is love and light. Every day is this ray of sunshine. And for me, more of my days is a little bit of this energy. More of my days is me pulling it together because I have a lot of things on my plate. And we all have a lot of things on our plate. So never be discouraged just because you can't be what other people expect you to be. Which is, why isn't she happy today? Why isn't she got her makeup on? Why doesn't she look like this? I look good. I look beautiful to me. And if you don't like it, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Go somewhere else. Do something else. I hope that we can all learn to embody that. We don't have to be perfect to be great at something. And we don't have to show up perfect and never mess up to give information, to share things that we know and we've been through. So I will see you guys soon. Very soon, because I got a number to meet and I got 90 days to work it, okay? So you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you soon.